Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jaigobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jaigobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Jaigobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. One, two. Okay, here we go. I don't know why that happened, but that was interesting. It's kind of how the day has been going. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jai Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live. And thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Today's show is a once-a-week show every Wednesday night where we talk about the magic of Venus and whatever Venus is doing astrologically for the week from Wednesday to Wednesday, and also what that means for us collectively for relationships, and also what that means for us individually, based off of our sun, moon, Venus, and rising. So I go over the astrology first and the major aspects of the week, and then I pull a card. I'm going to be using the archetype cards for each of the signs, and I may pull one of these little oracle cards as well. So I don't know how your day is going, but today has been a little bit of a heavy energy. Hello, Melanie. Welcome in. Hello, Tamika. Hello, Magali. Hello, Tina. Hello, Dawn. Yes, the Venus energy is amazing. Before we actually hop into the reading for tonight, I did want to invite you to download my free moon astrology guide and get on my email list, which is the best way to stay in contact. The moon guide tells you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then I send out once a week a moon magic report, which tells you the horoscope and the astrology for the week ahead. So I would highly recommend you get on that train. And also I have some special announcements that I usually make right before the content of the video. The first one is that I'm currently having a holiday sale on my Etsy shop, which is called Eagle Star Jewels. It's up to 30% off. And I've got malas, I'm actually wearing a lot of the stuff I make. I have malas. This is the moon goddess mala. I have a moon goddess necklace. This one's actually really beautiful. I just finished making one today. I also have essential oil blends. For example, the newest one that I have created is called the moon goddess oil. I'm going to put some on right now, and I usually put it on my wrists and then rub the wrists together. And then behind the ears is also a good spot to put it. And then all the oil blends come with the aura mist, which you just kind of mist over yourself. So you can find all of these things on my Etsy shop, and I'm soon going to add a lot more stuff, which I'm really excited about. I have some surprises for you next week. Also, for those of you ladies, you hear me talk about Moon Goddess energy a lot, that are interested in joining us for the next Moon Goddess training, which begins in January. The current one is almost ending, but we have another one in January. Right now is the early bird discount. It's only $175. The program total is $333, but you can get it for just $175 through November, and then the price is going to go up December 1st. The program itself is geared towards self-empowerment, but also it is the journey of the initiation journeys that they took in ancient Egypt, ancient Atlantis, the mystery schools of Isis, the mystery schools of Hathor, Hermetic alchemy, the chakras, the moon centers, intuition. There's so many things. Astrology. I teach you about the astrology of the goddess. Hello, Rebecca, and hello, Valerie. Welcome in. So a lot of cool things all put together. Basically, all of the things that are very passionate to me all together in one program. So if you want more information, click the link below. Hello, Traylene, and go watch the video. I have extended the program. So instead of 6 weeks, which it says it's 6 weeks, it's actually 8 weeks. So I'm going to have to re-record the video and also update the information, but it's going to be 8 weeks long, and we're going to go through that journey of the initiation. So the ancient initiations of the mystery school. So I can't wait for that. Make sure to check that out. And there's a lot more announcements coming up soon, but that is all that I wanted to share with you guys today. Let's switch the screen over to the iPad, and then I'm going to put it up on the screen in a moment. Hang on, this thing is stuck. So what we're going to talk about today is the aspect of, it's in the title of the video, but it's Venus making a square to Chiron, the wounded healer. So this is not like oh yes, a happy thing is going on this week. It's going to be a little bit heavy. And even some of the transits this week are quite heavy in their essence. So you may be feeling up and down and up and down. Hello, Shannon. Welcome in. So good to have you here. This specific, let me know when you guys can see the chart on the screen, but this specific transit is happening on the 15th. So on Monday. And the next full moon, which is in Taurus, is actually a lunar eclipse. So the moon during this time and moving through this week, I wrote about this in the Moon Magic report, is actually waxing. It's going to make its square to the sun, and then it will also become gibbous. Yeah, right? Yeah, you're not bipolar. It will become gibbous. So in the gibbous phase, everything is magnifying, everything is getting stronger, emotions are intensifying, and it's an eclipse on top of it. So the full moon is, we're going to talk about it next week in the astrology, but that's what we're moving into. So one of the things that's going on this week is the square from Venus, who is right here at 8 degrees in Capricorn, to Chiron at 8 degrees of, there we go, Aries. And the significant thing about it is that right at that exact time that this square is going on, the moon is there as well with Chiron. And the moon is about our emotions, emotional healing when it's connected to Chiron. Also, alchemical magic can be activated here. So what happens when there is a powerful square between the planet Venus and Chiron? Yeah. Oh my God, Valerie, me too. I've just been feeling this really intense energy. It's just been kind of heavy and like dealing with some things that are not so fun to deal with. This whole day actually has been like trying to like release and let go. And I'm hoping that tomorrow will feel better because I talked about it in the moon magic report today. The square from Mercury and Mars to Saturn and the moon. And that was like, ooh, it's just kind of heavy energy. But this is another square that we're talking about here. And 8 degrees is significant. 8 degrees is the degree of the goddess. So to break this down, this specific aspect that we're going to experience this week, Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. She rules relationships. Right now in Capricorn, she's not in the happiest sign. It's not really her favorite sign to be in because this is an energy ruled by Saturn. And Venus and Saturn don't really get along too well. Unless Venus is probably in Capricorn and then she would like a Saturn-like energy. But she is here for 5 months. Hello, Rebecca. Welcome in. I know it was. And 5 months of Venus in Capricorn is going to feel really heavy because for one, this is about responsibility in our relationships and basically taking our power, like putting our power to where that responsibility lies and not blaming others. This is also about focusing on those relationships that actually help us to be successful in life and not the ones that are karmic, although that Capricorn energy can definitely be karmic. And with the square to Chiron, that is one of the things that may come up is a karmic release. So that means that karmic relationships you'll find a doorway open to help release some of this energy. Traylene says, not feeling the love. Yeah. No, you guys are not the only ones. I've been feeling that too. It's just intense. It's just a lot going on. I just try to keep myself busy and it usually helps. But when the energy is this intense, I really kind of just want the day to be over so I can just go to sleep, and like sleep it off and start over. Because that's really what it feels like. Like I need to start over. But that's what's going on in terms of Venus, the energy of Venus. If you think about who's the dispositor of Venus right now, it's Saturn. And Saturn is in Aquarius. So this has to do with people and relationships with, even friends and acquaintances and just the humanity in general, expressing itself through Venus. And then Chiron and the moon conjuncting, right, at the same exact time at 8 degrees is alchemical emotional healing. So the emotions join in so that they find an outlet for us. In the book, there's an actual book called Chiron, written by Barbara Handclough, and I highly recommend this book for anyone that's interested in learning more about the asteroid. But she says that Chiron square Venus sets up the maximum stress between finding a value system which will enhance spirituality or just giving oneself over to one emotional high after another. Isn't that interesting? Also, Chiron square Venus usually signals heavy duty, past life karmic pressure having to do with gender identity. Isn't that interesting? Let's go like this so you guys can see it better. That's very, very interesting. In the esoteric teaching, we are taught that we choose a particular gender identity to balance male/female polarity, anima/animus polarity. Life is no more than an opportunity for experience so that we can become more evolved. And part of being able to become developed involves experiencing both sexes. Often when we are moving into a gender we are unused to, there is a lot of stress. And Chiron square Venus indicates this type of stress. So this stress just kind of showing up in the world. Thus, a person with many male past lives may be born a female this time or vice versa. And this is often shown in the chart with Chiron square Venus. We also see this frequency when Mars is conjunct Venus in the natal chart. This client may be essentially male trying to cope with being female or vice versa, and astrologers can help the client with in-depth Mars-Venus counseling. This is a really interesting energy. So it can mean literally that, and that's what I wanted to share because I think it's a super unique aspect, but it can also mean just in general, the healing and the stress from those relationships that are karmic that need to be released. And the theme of karma comes in because Venus is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the lord of karma and time. So only time will heal. And then also you have to go through those lessons and you have to go through those energies. So Venus is in a certain area in your chart, and Chiron is in another area in your chart, and the moon, which will happen on Monday. And I'll tell you where that is once we go through each of the signs. But isn't that, it's just really strange kind of energies moving into a lunar eclipse, because you have to think about it in a more kind of expanded perspective. If there's a big, powerful eclipse happening, the energy of everything else that's going on is getting magnified at all different levels. What I feel the most from this transit, the square from Venus to Chiron, is that it's calling for healing, and it's calling for karmic healing, and it's calling for healing of any type of relationships. It's calling for emotional understanding. It's calling for compassion. It's calling for love. It's asking us to understand and not reject the healing that shows up in the way that it shows up in our lives. What's that bling on the head wrap? They're sequences. It's got sequences on it. And then Traylene says yesterday was worse. Yeah, I mean, I've been feeling this energy for a couple of days. I definitely want to add a head wrap when doing the Kundalini meditations. Oh yeah. I haven't really talked about that, but I've been wearing them again and I love it. Sometimes I wear it like through the whole day because it makes me feel more like contained, less like out there. The benefits, it basically protects your crown chakra. It holds the energy. It helps you focus on that center. Yeah, super. Hello, Rocky. Welcome in. Good morning to you as well. So let's actually talk about where this aspect is going to be happening in your specific chart based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising. And we're going to just go ahead and go in order. So we'll start with Aries. So Aries, sun, moon, Venus, and rising is you've got Venus in your 10th house of career and Chiron in your first house. So this is the challenge or the obstacle that will show up has to do with your identity versus your career, your identity versus how you show up for the world, how you define yourself within the realm of life path, and any relationships associated in this area are going to be affected as well. So let's see which archetype wants to give you some wisdom as to, what to focus on, what's going to be important for you. And this is interesting. So you actually get the card of the storm. And what the storm represents is it's a moment in time where it feels like things are chaotic, but in actuality, they're falling into place. So this week may feel stormy, but at the same time, when you find yourself in a storm, it really means that things are like clearing themselves out. Think of like, the chaos of like when you come in and kids are playing and they've left toys everywhere. It almost was like a storm went through. At the same time, it's like it unveils and it releases everything so that you can see all of it. Even if it feels like it's scattered, even if it feels like it's chaotic, it still gives you an opportunity for healing. And the oracle card that you get, healing and dissolution. Treat your healing with resilience. Rub your bruises gently. Yeah, so take it easy on yourself is part of this message, and give yourself time to heal from this. So that's beautiful for Aries. Next, we have Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. And Taurus has Venus in the ninth, which is helping you expand within relationships, see things from a new perspective, and Chiron in the 12th. So healing your relationship to your own divinity, your relationship to your spirituality and your divine self. So if you've lost faith, Chiron is helping you to find your faith again and let that expand you via Venus in the ninth house. So let's see which archetype wants to come through for you. I think because we just had this intense transit of the moon on Pluto, that's a lot of the heaviness that we're feeling. So the archetype that you get is Aletheia. Aletheia is actually one of the moon goddesses that basically holds space or represents one of the moon centers. And Aletheia is the goddess of truth. So there's something about being in your truth that will help you get through this week. Aletheia doesn't let lies come through. Aletheia does not allow you to speak anything but the truth. So that is what's going to be coming through, which can definitely be intense because, again, truth is sometimes hard to face. But at the same time, it's really important to go through that process. The oracle card you get is El Belda, defeat and diversion. Do not hold on to the endings. Your pain will fade as your garden flourishes. And the beauty about the idea of the garden for Taurus very well matches the Taurus energy of the earth and being grounded. So the garden will flourish. Your pain will fade. Do not hold on to the endings, but there will be some endings this week that you will experience with this square. So Gemini, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. You've got Venus transiting the 8th house. So a lot of changes in terms of relationships and some relationships ending straight up. Maybe you putting up boundaries. This also could be like receiving energy in relationships. And then Chiron in your 11th has to do with healing your relationship with how you share your gifts with the world and how you hold your friendships, how important your friendships are. But a lot of changes. So rebirth is the energy of the week with this theme of Venus in Capricorn. You get the tear. Oh, it's really intense. So feeling the energy of like release, but also surrender. That's what I'm getting from this. It's release and surrender. It's like the letting go, the allowing yourself to feel the emotions. I can't remember which one this is the archetypes deck. And I'm using the little oracle deck for the fixed stars, but I don't remember the names right now, Traylene. I'm sorry. Yeah, right. The tear. But there's also there's also an eye, in this picture, and there's also like an emerald, like a droplet, and looks like an emerald, and looks like there's also citrine. And emerald is like the green, the color of the heart chakra. So being in your heart space. Hello, Maricela, welcome in. That's another thing that you're going to feel this week is you're going to feel yourself being in your heart space and just letting the emotions flow and just be okay with what comes up and with the endings and the beginnings. You get Markab. Oh, this is Pegasus. You have outgrown your own skin. Now is time to utilize your wings. So wipe the tears away, right? Or feel the release and then continue to move forward because you've outgrown your skin. Pegasus takes you up to the heavens. So it's a beautiful like ascension. Pegasus has to do with ascension, literally higher frequencies, moving up the ladder of the chakras, taking it to the higher centers, to the heavens. So that's the energy. So it's really beautiful. There is endings and new beginnings, but there's also the beauty of being in sacred space. And then we have Cancer, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. So Cancer is having Venus in the 7th. So this has to do with relationships very intensely. Romantic relationships, close relationships, intimate relationships, karmic relationships within those realms. And Chiron in the 10th, which is the house of career and your life path, it could be struggles, the struggle between what you want for your relationships versus what's going on with your career. Those are the things that could be coming up, the themes that could be coming up for you. And then the resolution of that is up to you. You get the Father, which is also representative of Saturn, which we know Saturn is the dispositor of this Venus energy. So I think a lot of this has to do with taking responsibility for yourself within your relationships. That's very Venus in Capricorn, and recognizing that not everything is there to flow like, Cancer energy likes to. Not everything is there to feel very homey. Sometimes it feels uncomfortable before it feels like home. And the oracle card that you get is Algarfa, realization and desires. If abundance is what you seek, your ambition must stream like a waterfall. That's why the Father archetype is coming up, which is Capricorn, which is Venus in Capricorn. So if abundance is what you seek, which we technically want success when we're dealing with the 10th house and Capricorn, your ambition must stream like a waterfall, which is challenging for Cancer because they would much rather be in this space of home and comfort. It's outside of your comfort zone to look for success, to be ambitious. However, everyone needs to really stand up at some point in our lives. And this could be that moment for you, Cancer. So next we have Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. And Leo's having a Venus transit in the 6th house of work, being in the present moment. So Venus asking you to just show up a little bit more. Just be here right now. Like, stop trying to take it somewhere else or think too far ahead. Being right here is going to serve you the most. And Chiron in the 9th, when you give yourself opportunities to be here in the moment and within your relationships, be present for your relationships, you will feel the magic of the expansion that starts to show up in your life. And let's see what archetype wants to bring you a message here. It is, the riddle. So there's something to be discovered. There's something to be discovered within it's a magical thing. To me, when it's a riddle, it's like, oh, it's a riddle. It's fun. Let's figure it out. It also seems like it's never ending. And sometimes it seems like it's not meant to be figured out. But the riddle is the curiosity. The riddle is, it's the journey, right? To try to go figure it out. And that's what you're being asked to do this week. That's why you have to be present, because you cannot see clearly and you cannot solve the riddle if you're absent-minded or just absent in general in any way, shape, or form. And the oracle card you get is Eros and Vitality. Pour your desires all over me, take over my body, and make my heart sing. So this also has to do with, oh my God, that is so being in the present moment. That's like focus right here, right now. You'll figure it out. You'll find the answer to the riddle, but this week may very much feel like a riddle until you find that, the nectar, until you find the essence of the magic of being in the moment. Next, we have Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Hello, Christy Ann, welcome in. And Virgo has Venus in the 5th. So for you, this is about passion. It is also about creativity, romance, children. All of these areas of your life can be affected by Venus moving through there. With Chiron in the 8th, it's about endings, letting go, forgiveness, releasing, and rebirth, but also receiving. The 8th house is also about receiving. And it is important to remember that you will receive also by what you manifest. And the fifth house is really about manifestation. You get the sustainer as the archetype. I love this. This very much matches the fifth house energy. The fifth house energy sustains. It's Gobinde, right? It's my name. So Jai means victory. Gobind means the sustaining life force of the universe. Victory to the sustaining life force of the universe. That passion, that creativity, that vibration, that flow, that rhythm is what sustains this universe. And that's what you are learning to connect with at this moment. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome in. You're learning to connect to that rhythm. You're learning to connect to that flow, being also present, because the fifth house does ask you to be present as well, is going to be important. You also get Al-Qaid, Ursa Major. Good things take time. Growth does not happen overnight. And you have to remember the sustainer sustains everything. So it's almost like I feel the message is about the universe is holding space for you, sustaining that space for you to create. All you have to do is activate it and recognize that things really don't just happen overnight. And that's what's coming up for you this week, Virgo. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. You've got Venus transiting through your fourth house of the home and family. So dealing with relationships, familial relationships, and it could be karmic. For all of us, karma's coming through. So remember what house I told you it's happening in, and that's where you're going to feel that karmic release. And then Chiron in the seventh. Okay, so it's like both kinds of relationships. So for Libra, this may be a little bit of a heavy time or a heavy transit to be going through. But at the same time, a lot of deep, powerful healing. Oh my God, look at this card that you got. You get the Orphan. So this is about let go of expectations. Because when you realize, one of the things that I realized through my healing journey is that I was an orphan. I was an emotional orphan. Now, I lived, with both of my parents until I was in college, which is usually what we think of in our today's society, ideal. You would want, both parents there until you became an adult or a young adult, and then you kind of left the house, you left the nest. However, the emotional support was never there for me, and so I felt like an orphan my whole life. And we all feel this way. But what this means is at some point you have to let go of the expectation that there is something needed to resolve what's going on, that something in this moment needs you to define it. That's not what it's about. What it is about is letting go and just going with the flow of the universe, seeing, well, if I am an orphan, then where do I find the inner me? Where do I find the inner nurturer? Where do I find that powerful energy that connects me? If I'm an orphan, what is it that I need to do to reconnect myself, but through a heart space? You also get Aldaira, or glorification and invocation. Success is determined by your mindset. Yes. So also being with orphan energy, we often tend to blame. Like there's a lot of blame, of course, because orphans usually, they're children, right? So children are orphaned or not orphaned. Not adults are not orphaned or not orphaned. It's just children. So this is about healing your inner child as well. That's coming through. And to remember that, success in your life is not determined, is determined by your mindset. So you have to treat your journey with patience. And what mindset are you in? What do you need to clear your path? I think deep inner child healing is coming up for Libra this week, especially because the two houses that these two planets are in, Venus and Chiron, are the two houses that have to do with the most intimate relationships in our chart. So a bit heavier, I would say, maybe for Libra. So definitely be patient with yourself. Now with Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, you've got Venus transiting your third house. which is the house of communication. So learning and being inspired to communicate and to express yourself within relationships. And Chiron in the 6th, saying that there's a focus here on healing your negative habits, your addictions. Traylene says, yeah, same Jai. I always felt like an orphan that was convinced my parents were hiding it so I could break. Yeah. But it is because you feel like an orphan. Emotionally, you can be emotionally orphaned. And even though your parents are there, it's almost like they're not there, because that nurturing support isn't there. But Scorpio, you're learning to communicate and to express yourself because there is something that you are healing in terms of your life. Your negative patterns are coming up. Your habitual addictions are like coming up, and it's time for you to heal them. The card that you get is the stone. The stone, to me, it can be, there's many different meanings for this. It can be the sacred stone or the sacred crystal, right? Or the sacred rock that just, activates magic, alchemical magic. The stone can also be what holds you down, what grounds you, but it can also be what weighs you down and what you need to release yourself from. So all of these things are things to think about as you move through the week. And you also get Atlas, the Hyades. Allow yourself to wander because your heart already knows the answers. Beautiful. Yeah. So the stone can also be the anchor. And that's the other word that came in. Allow yourself to wander because you are anchored and you already know the answers. That's that anchored energy. Very beautiful. Shannon bringing the stones. That's hilarious. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, you've got Venus transiting through the 2nd house. So that's money, value, self-esteem, beauty, material possessions. All of those things are important right now. And then Chiron in the 5th, it's like heal your inner child. By finding security in your life. Where is the security coming from? I think you'll surprise yourself that the deepest security for you actually resides in the fact that you are here in this moment, that you are actually connected. And this is an interesting card that you got, agape. And I'm gonna pull it up from the actual book, Agape, to see what their definition or description is of this energy. But let's see what it means for you, Agape. Such interesting card. If I can find it. Okay, let me go into the beginning where through the table of contents here. Okay, let's find agape. Okay, it's towards the end. Here we go. What does agape mean for this deck? All right. That makes sense. Okay, so agape is devotion and unconditional love. So it's commitment. It's commitment. This is about commitment for you, Sagittarius. It's time to commit to your creativity. It's time to commit to your passion so that you can manifest the beautiful things that you want in your life that will make you feel good and will make you feel comfortable and will make you feel safe and secure. You get Azoraya, creativity and alchemy. Fortune and prosperity go hand in hand. So is your ability to sustain, which you already have. Devotion and unconditional love. Beautiful. Sustain that energy because that is where the most powerful creative force is. And the alchemy that comes from that is that fortune and prosperity can come together if you allow yourself to be in that powerful creative space. That's beautiful, Sagittarius. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Venus is obviously running through your first house, like running. Chiron is in your fourth. So the healing is home and family. The healing in your life has to do with home and family. Venus in your first house has to do with embodying the goddess, with understanding and being compassionate for yourself, with loving yourself as well. And look at this card you got is the underworld. So whatever is happening this week, I think will show up through your own internal process and realizing what is it that you're healing? What is it that you're releasing? What is it that's magnifying too? Because remember, this is the waxing moon that we are under. The oracle card that you get is Kada Kohot, fertility and prosperity. Feed your soul with love and abundance will flow. I love that. Yes. Feed your soul with love and abundance will flow. And as you walk through the underworld, give yourself the opportunity to see the truth and don't be afraid of the truth. All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Venus is going through the 12th. That's a beautiful transit. It's very ethereal. It's very Piscean. It's very romantic. It's spiritual. It's activating your higher centers. And with Chiron in your third house of communication, it's about healing your relationships with your divine and the way that you communicate, that the divine communicates through you. That is a big part of this week. The card you get is the One. Oh my God, the One. Ping says, Agape is my Los Angeles church. You offer so much compassion. So the One is basically the all, the one, the everlasting. And it's coming through this week very strongly. Especially this aspect is activating it. For you, I would recommend things like writing things down, journaling, going through that process of like channeling it. Because you'll be amazed at the messages that come through. You get Kadalbera, liberation and recovery. When your heart seeks liberty and your mind asks for mercy, free your spirit from mundane duties. That is powerful. When your heart seeks liberty and your mind asks for mercy, free your spirit from mundane duties. Free yourself. Yes, I do feel that energy of freedom for you. Liberation. Very powerful energies, Aquarius. And then last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. For Pisces, Venus is going through your 11th. So this is about friendships. That's the important theme. And also prosperity, abundance. With Chiron in your second is healing your relationship with the material world. Healing your relationship with money. Healing your relationship with the nurturing goddess, allowing yourself to ground yourself, learning how to take your time and process things in their timely manner, right? Like the fruit becomes ripe at a certain point. You can't have that ripeness in the winter because that's just the seed. And we are moving into the winter solstice soon. So there's big themes there for you. The card that you get is the crone and the raven. So wisdom is coming through very strongly this week. And the raven also represents magic and the shaman. So it's about finding that within yourself. Where is the shaman within yourself? Where is that magical energy within yourself to create, manifest, transform, and release? You get Kadal Hakbia, faith and expansion. Water your wisdom with integrity so your vision grows and inspires others to mirror you. Yes, that is so beautiful. And the crone is wisdom. So it's beautiful that these two cards are coming through. Water your wisdom with integrity so your vision grows and inspires others to mirror you. Really beautiful. Really super beautiful, Pisces. And everyone. You saw green? Nice. That's heart chakra energy. Also with the green ray, I believe is Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing. I believe that's what it is, if I remember correctly. Anyways, super powerful messages this week. It is not an easy week. That's one thing that I will mention. I was talking about it in the beginning when I was going through the astrology. It's not an easy week. I mean, eclipses never are. They activate like the next 6 months. Even though it's a full moon that brings in culminating energy, it's still an eclipse, and it's the first one of 2 that we're having. So the intensity, just know that the intensity is going to continue to build and build and build. How can you find your center? What can you do to find that space this week? So as you get challenged by all of these intense transits, you can be anchored through it all. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. Please share this video out. Make sure to check out the Moon Goddess training that's happening in January. Early bird discount goes through the end of November and then price goes up. The Etsy sale is going on. Oh, and the special holiday reading, which I didn't mention before. I'm doing a very special type of reading that I don't usually do. It's a one-on-one on Zoom. It is a co-creative process where we make that's my dog, where we make these powerful things come alive because of us being there together. And so we can look at your astrology, we can look at tarot and oracle. There's infinite possibilities, and I don't absolutely have to do it a certain way. I'm also really excited because last night I actually did my first Akashic record reading in my training. We went there. We did our first reading on each other, and it was just amazing, and it was so powerful, and it made me feel so excited for when I finally am able to do those readings. So that will be coming up in January. But anyways, thank you so much, you guys. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. I will be live on Friday. If you guys want to get some mini readings on Friday for $25, you can get on the list anytime between now and then. And I know it was really awesome. And yeah, it's kind of like a nice week, hello Belinda, a chill week. And hello Miss Becca, a chill week for me in terms of broadcasting, because it's just like the regular broadcast. There's nothing extra. But next week it'll be kind of a more filled, energetic week, and I think hopefully more of that nice, harmonious energy as we move into that full moon. So hang in there. This is intense. You're not the only one. And I hope you guys have a beautiful couple of days until I see you again on Friday. Sat Nam.